Hey guys, so MPI was massively sold down today. You can also add DMC, MWC, and to some effect AC to the list. What caused this? What's the news cycle? What's the trigger for all of this? Does this have an effect also in the fundamentals of the company, or is this just purely price movement? That and more, plus the charts in this video. So check this video out. Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and smash that bell so you get updated every time I create new content about the stock market. Each day, I'm gonna give you as much as possible so that you can win and you can trade and you can have the conviction to be able to buy and sell stocks by yourself on your own wherever you are in the world. So enjoy the rest of the video. So in this video, it will all be about what the news is, what the news item is. Does it have any lasting effect on the fundamentals of MPI, on MWC, on DMC, on AC? Is this just purely price movement? Is the market just overreacting based on the news? How bad is the news? Is this something that if you own a stock, it should be something that you should be alarmed about? Is it something that should be a concern for you? Should you be scared right now if you own the stock? We're gonna talk more about that. Plus, because the stock price has dropped massively and you are an investor and you have a lot of cash, should you use this as a buying opportunity? Should you use this as a time for you to be able to position also while there's a lot of fear, while there's a lot of panic, while a lot of people are selling? Plus, at the end, allow me to show you also what the charts are telling us, because you know me, everything I need to know is found in the charts. Everything I need to know is found on what technical analysis is telling us. That's why the chart discounts everything. You could disregard the news, you could disregard the fundamentals. As long as you know where the price action is headed, you will still be able to trade and you will still be able to win. So comment below if you will buy because of this. Comment buy because you are buying because of the fear, out of the fear, or comment avoid because you think this will just go down further. So enjoy the rest of my presentation. Hey guys, so there's so much going on in the markets today, primarily with what's going on with MWC and MPI, particularly Maynilad for MPI. Please remember that MPI owns direct proportion also to Maynilad as well. So whatever happens to Maynilad, MPI also gets hit, and Manila Water is directly listed in the market. So I'm gonna break this down in terms of news, what's happening, what is the news saying. I'm also gonna break it down in terms of the fundamentals. What does this have to do with the fundamentals of the companies that we are looking at and what's listed? Because at the end of the day, it's very, very important for us to know what's happening based on the fundamentals of the company, because it's the fundamentals also which will dictate whether people are buying it or not, especially for people who are into long-term investing as well. Then lastly, as you all know, my style, my narrative, I'm all about technical analysis. We will see what the charts are telling us, because everything we need to know is found in the charts. So let's break it one by one. Number one, as you all know, there's a water crisis in Metro Manila. It started at the early point of the year where there were the Angat Dam relatively, the water in Angat Dam was relatively low already, but there were water shortages for both Maynilad and Manila Water. That being said, Duterte, please take note, this is not a political post. I don't create political posts. I'm an investor. I just take things as it is. Duterte, not being happy with what was happening, reviewed the contracts and the concession agreements. While he was reviewing the contracts and the concession agreements, he sort of did not like it, as he saw it as something that was not favorable for the Filipino people and for the government. He said it was only favorable for the businesses that were engaged in those contracts. So that being said, what he said based on the news item that I read, that he's ordering the Solicitor General to craft new concession agreements with the water concessionaires. Please do note though that in terms of what does this mean in terms of our analysis, the government and both Manila Water and Maynilad entered into agreement in 1997. The primary reason for this was the government at that time did not have the resources and the capability to be able to modernize and make the water services better. That's why it tapped the resources of the private sector. Then it should have been a 25-year agreement, which from 1997 would have ended by 2022. But by the time around, I think this was 2000, I think this was 2009. It was extended again for another 15 years. So before that it would have actually ended, there was a 15-year extension. That's why the agreement would have ended by 2037. Would end by 2037. So we are still in between. We are still inside the concession agreement between the government and Manila Water and Maynilad. So this actually means that a lot of private investors, a lot of investors, not just local investors but also foreign investors, are watching this. If the government will hold their end of the bargain to somehow finish the contract, regardless of if it's something that's good for the private sector that made this happen, or is it good for the public, the consuming public, in terms of how the deal was done. Why? Because if this gets overturned, it might deter other investors from coming into the Philippines, because some of them, of course, you have to understand, when we start projects like this, cost billions of pesos, which also means that it's capital intensive. It's something that they have to go all in if they want to establish it. And if contracts get overturned, it would be a deterrent for other investors to come in, because it gives them an uncertainty that somehow, some way, maybe in the middle of the contract, what happens if my concession gets overturned as well. So as you all know, investors don't like uncertainty. They want something that they can predict. They want something that they can control as well. Please also remember that a few years ago, Manila Water won an arbitration with the Philippine government in a Singapore court, that the Philippine government would pay Manila Water billions of pesos because of they were not able to raise rates by I think 2015. Same thing with MPI, same thing with Manila, that they were supposed to raise rates based on what was in the concession agreement. So not only will this delay them having the ability to raise rates, meaning raise when they raise rates, us consumers will pay more, but them in turn they'll actually earn more. But it might also deter them to the other direction, that it may cost them also to earn less later on. So how does this fit into the stock market, especially for all of us who are stock investors? I know most of you who own the stock or who have cash want to know more about what's happening here. So please comment below also at any point while I'm doing this video, if this is something that will cause you to buy because the stocks are massively down. Comment buy, comment all in. Or if you are thinking that this is something that may drag on, it's gonna go down even further, comment avoid. Just a quick plug. My last Stock Smarts Manila for the year will be this December 7, 8, and 14. It will be all about the technicals and the fundamentals. I'm going to teach you all of the jargons here for those who have been following. If they look all like jargons, they look like numbers that you can't understand yet, that's what I'm going to discuss, and that's what I'm going to talk about during these sessions as well. And we're going to end the year with the top 10 stocks for 2020, which will be December 14, 2019. I invited a fundamental analyst, a hardcore fundamental analyst. I invited a broker, and I invited also an economist to share their insights on where the economy is headed and what stocks you're supposed to buy. The link on how you can join us is in the description below. And by the way, for next year, I'm having Stock Smarts in London and New Zealand. Comment below, comment the cities that you want me to do Stock Smarts in, and I'll try to send you the link as well. But the normal Dubai, Singapore, Qatar areas where I normally do the talks will always be there. But if you can't join us for the talks, guess what? A lot of those things that I want to mention also are in the books. Of course, that the technical analysis sessions in the seminars are more hardcore, still are more, I guess, more deep, is relatively deeper. But if you want to get at least a grasp of technicals and fundamentals, these 5 books can be bought via Shopee. Link is in the description also on how you can purchase them. Or if you want to give them as a gift this Christmas,
the better way to give gifts that will educate your friends as well. So how does this relate to the stock market? Because of this news item, because of the dirt is ordering this, what happened today was MPI dropped below 4 pesos per share. MPI closed to 3.92 pesos. It was down 10.71% for a company that's very, very big, large market cap. It massively got sold down. AC at 830 pesos, down 0.1804%. People are asking, why is AC not hit as much? Please remember this. AC is composed of a lot of companies, and Manila Water just contributes a smaller part to AC's general income. Ayala Land, BPI, Globe, and all of their other ventures contribute a higher income to AC as a whole as compared to Manila Water. Then DMC is down 3.85% to 6 pesos point 25, all because DMC is directly owns it directly owns Maynilad as well. Please remember, Maynilad is owned by MPI and DMC. So whatever happens to Maynilad, DMC and MPI both get affected. Plus, Manila Water, please remember, is a listed company. The stock is down 4.795. It's back. It's at 7.90 pesos per share already. So, just here's the thing. Looking at the fundamentals now, my opinion, I think it's too early to tell. If this is just a news, this is just news that uh, there's an order that there will be a new concession agreement, but if it doesn't really materialize at any point yet, then the downward movement is unwarranted, for it does not change any of the fundamentals. However, I do understand that people are selling down because of uncertainty, as what I've mentioned at the top of this video. Investors do not like uncertainty. Investors like something that they can predict. Investors like something that they can control. So this is putting a hedge of uncertainty on the company, because what if 1-2 years down the line or in the next few months a new concession agreement is drafted and they'll be forced to get into it as well. So that being said, everything will hinge in either number one, the government honoring the concession agreement up until 2037, and that's when they start negotiating, or this really goes through and pushes through that the contracts get voided, and a new concession gets formed, which we don't know yet. What will it be? Everything at this point is still speculative, but based on the current tone, no, it's not something that will benefit this water concessionaires in terms of what they could actually earn. Uh, so what I've mentioned, if the companies are pushed out of their contracts, then this will be something that's fundamentally bad for the company. This is something that will somehow hit them massively in terms of their earnings as well. Now, that's what the fundamentals are saying. That's what the news is actually saying as well. Let's look at what the charts are telling us, because everything we need to know is found in the charts. Everything we need to know is found in what technical analysis is telling us, because technical analysis is the game. So this is where MPI's chart is. If you look at it also from a tech perspective, number one, there was a support around the 4.85 level, but this did not hold. Then there's a resistance at the 4.1 level. At this point in time also, you know that it's a support because at May 2019 it bounced from that level, and as you can see from here, boom, this is something since 2018 that it actually hasn't breached. But today, the heavy selling has started to bring it much, 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 much lower. So now, what should be our narrative? Our narrative basically is to look for where could it possibly drop should selling continue. My technique here is I just look at the previous resistances and the next support levels. So my ideology is this: if selling will continue, possible retracement level will possibly bring MPI to the 3.6 level. I repeat, possible retracement level will possibly bring MPI to the 3.6 level should selling continue, should selling occur. As you notice that even from here, you will automatically see that there's a support from the 3.6 level. So first things first, I want to see RSI. RSI brings it to oversold levels, but it's not yet at the support. So couple of things: if selling will continue, we have a support at 3.6. If it stays from 3.6, then good. It will probably consolidate there and move and hover to 4 all the way back to 3.6, and it will just do it over and over and over again. However, from the 3.6 level, if that does not hold, possible narrative is from 3.6, you may expect it to retrace and go back to the 3 peso level. We're not yet there, so if you own the stock, you don't have to panic yet. I'll update you based on how the charts are progressing, based on how it's moving. But if I'll try to peg this also, I could possibly put already a downtrend line here. Then I could possibly put another one here that's causing it to deeply push much lower as well. But one thing is sure, MPI from a tech perspective is breaking down. Let's look at DMC. DMC, as you all know, based on the previous videos that I've shown you, DMC prior to this was already in a downtrend. DMC prior to this already was already breaking down as well. So we are still seeing DMC continue in its downward movement. We are still continuing to see DMC just continue to fall and move based on the downtrend. The thing here is this: at 6.5, we see that there's a support at the 6.5 level. That being said, that got breached. That being said, also, since that got breached, and if it does not go back here, it might still have a steeper movement downward, which brings it to the 4.8 level. So a couple of things. Number one, watch out for this 6.5 level. If DMC does not go back from this level, it may have a steeper drop later on. It could possibly hit, and it could possibly be protected at the 6 peso level. Let's see how it goes. But if it goes back to around the 6.5 level, possible narrative is you can actually still see it cross and push up there. So that's what we have for DMC. Let's look at AC. AC in general, as you notice it also, it's still below the 200-day moving average. If I'll try to put a narrative here, you can still see that it's still also pointing down. This is a possible resistance. And if you put it here, this is a resistance turn support. If you notice it also, it just broke down already from this immediate support level. That being said, if I zoom in, this is what you will notice, a breakdown there. The stock is being resisted already at the 875 level. Sellers are winning at that point in time. If I try to put a support here, you have a support at the 792 level. If 792 does not hold, possible retracement to 708 is also possible. So couple of things. If it stays above 791, it has the ability to push up back to 875. If it does not hold the 791 level, it could retrace back to this point in time, to this level for I guess a short to mid-term. So allow me to update you on how this will move and how this will progress. And lastly, you have Manila Water. Same thing as how DMCI stock looks. It's still massively in a downtrend. Please remember, this started also from whatever news that happened last March, which brought it down. The 200-day moving average is still relatively a relevant resistance. If I peg it here, you could put a resistance here. It broke down last September, tried to push up, but heavy selling is still putting the stock massively down. Now, if I'll zoom out again, here you could possibly put a support level here at the 17 level. So let's see. Please remember this: from January 2012, MWC has never dropped below the 17.55 level. If it drops below that, there's a possibility that it could retrace lower back to the 14 peso level. So very important. You need to see what will happen, how this will push, how this will go. If it bounces off the 17 level, possible move up, it will try to attack 20 again. If it doesn't, it retraces down here. Those are the possible movements. Those are the possible retracements for the stock. So I hope you guys are learning from all of this. I hope that whatever insights I'm sharing is something that adds so much value to you. That's the reason why I keep doing videos like this. This is my second video for the day. If you guys missed the previous video, I posted it around 12 o'clock lunchtime Manila. I talked about the top 15 stocks that have dropped the most for the year. But if you guys are learning, I just want to post this question again. Knowing this, what will you do with this knowledge? Because information, knowledge, data that's not executed, that's not practiced, won't really help you. It won't really change your life. It won't really change the dynamics of how you live as well. That's why it's very important that you know what you're getting into. That's why it's very important that you also execute as well. Anyways, comment buy if this will cause you to buy while everyone is selling, everyone's scared. comment avoid if you think that this will drop further based on the all of the news that's happening, or you yourself are pessimistic based on all of this.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a lot from all of this. I hope this is something that added tremendous value to all of you, because again, at the end of the day, it's all about you having the right information and acting on that information, and that's what will help you win and trade with confidence. At the end of the day, you will never play a perfect game, but it's all about preserving your capital, and it's all about maximizing your gains. And I hope that whatever video, whatever content I put out is something that will add so much value to you that it will allow you to become a profitable trader in the market. So see you all this December 7th for Stock Smarts Manila. It's happening this Saturday already. And aside from Stock Smarts Manila, if you want to learn everything that I'm talking about, the technicals, the fundamentals, the rudiments of this, I have some books on Shopee. The links are down in the description on how you can grab a piece of those books as well, because that's all I want. It's time for Filipinos to win. It's time for Filipinos to trade the markets with confidence. This is Marvin Germo. I'm back already in Manila. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.